as well just start. My name is Trish Kane. I'm the founder of Healerverse. In 2020, my friends and I were getting censored and shadow banned on social media for spreading love. So I decided at that point that I would launch my own social media platform. I had no idea how to do it. I found people to help, and everything has grown and expanded in the last 3 years. It took 2.5 years of development, switching many developers to get it up and to get it into where it is today. So I'm super excited that we have amazing healers and community here and on the platform. I really want to bring people together on a global level as the world is leveling up and have people have a safe place to share really kind of whatever they want. Just be nice to each other is like my thing. And for people to find events near them, workshops to do 24/7, like being on a retreat from home, and different coaches to work with and healers to work with locally and also virtually globally to really bridge the gap and the boundaries of globalization. So that is Healerverse. And we have a few thousand people registered so far. We're starting marketing. We have about 400,000 emails in our CRM system that we haven't even emailed yet that we're working on getting those up. And some are healers, some are seekers, that people that just also gave me different emails because there's so much support around Healerverse on a global level. Ever since I started having the courage to speak about it and speak to it at different conferences and stuff. I will say last week, I know we spoke a little bit about blockchain, and we're not going to speak about that today. I am also an international blockchain speaker, and that's been really fun. I've been doing that for a little over a year, and a motivational speaker. Because in 2014, I actually died. I was 86 degrees Fahrenheit when the paramedics found me, or 30 degrees Celsius. And I went to the other side, if you want to call it that. I think it's like the fifth dimension. That's why it's 5D Healerverse. And also because the world is leveling up to the 5D. I've been tripping lately, you guys. I've been tripping. I close my eyes at night and I'm like seeing all these timelines, and I'm like, wow, is that like me in a physical form in like a different location? And like my spirit and soul is like that big that like there's like multitudes of me. I'm like, this is cool. I'm like, I wonder where that part of me is. And is that this like lifetime, or is that past lives? And it's like, it's cool the things that we're able to see as we really just trust and tap in. I fucking love you too, Shanna. This is my truth and I'm sticking to it. Um, like I travel a lot. I love to travel, and I want to be able to meet people wherever I am. So if I'm traveling to France, like, or Spain or wherever in the world, I want to be able to go on Healerverse and find people to connect with. When I moved to Colorado in 2020, I couldn't find, I was like, I was a Reiki healer. I'm also a Theta healer. I'm Googling looking for Reiki healers because I like to receive too. Couldn't find anything. I'm in Denver, Colorado. Like, what? So I'm like, all right, like, how do we like do this platform thing? And like Healerverse is up now. It's in MVP. Everybody is literally welcome. And I think too, it's important to meet people exactly where they're at and hold them where they're at. And I know all the healers on Healerverse right now and what they have to offer. And I feel like some of it might be for different levels or phases, right, of where they're at. Some might be like beginners might be more open to a specific modality. I would think so, than like people that have been in this community for so long globally, might be like, please do like I need this. Some people really just don't know where to start. So I think it's being able to show people what's out there so that way they are able to see what's possible. And yeah, so basically like Eventbrite, I heard in the UK now is not allowing free events anymore. They're going to start charging for that. Healerverse, if you're doing a free event, the tickets are free. You could share everything externally on on your personal platform, all your social platforms and everywhere. Everything is shareable externally, just like any other platform. And I really want to start to connect people in every single location and especially bring people together in person. Like, I know one of our friends on here is in St. Croix. Like, okay, who else is in St. Croix, So we also have an affiliate link that if you start sharing that out, you also can monetize with Healerverse. For anybody that you refer, that's a subscriber, a paying subscriber, you make 15% on everything that's shared that they also subscribe. And realistically, like I wish I could offer this for free, but it's definitely not free to run. So like healers have a modest subscription base fee of $44 a month or $444 a year. There really is no. Oh yeah, you have a lot. We have a whole team. Um, and that basically, if you get like one client, you know what I mean? It's already paid for. So for like the whole year easily. And if anyone also is doing events or anything and wants to collaborate with Healerverse, or like different like marketing things, or we're open to ideas. And if you have any trouble with any of the tech, definitely contact support at 5dhealerverse.com because they're better equipped to help than me at this point. And they're an amazing team. So, like one of the things I really wanted to talk about today is movement. And I'm not going to really speak too much to it. I kind of want to leave it open. If anybody wants to pop in and speak to movement, and it could be with the earth, it could be whatever you want. And if anybody wants to just say hi, go for it. Welcome, Brayla. Welcome, Charles. I'll leave it open.
I'll start. I'm Lynn. I live in St. Croix. I am a professional dancer, fire spinner, and circus performer, in addition to being an embodied ascended master. And so I think when we're talking about movement, it is this quality of being embodied, which can happen in stillness. You can see a Buddha sitting there and you can see him radiate, but the whirling dervishes, the Shaolin monks, those types of energies, a lot of what we're seeing, if I look at it this way, when the movement, the energy is getting riled up and it's radiating out of your skin as a field, maybe a little bit more than in stillness. So I recommend everyone move, whether it's Qigong is like a foundational energy practice. And then freestyle movement, like a lot of people like will run or like do whatever, but like you got that one cell like right there that needs to be cracked open, and the only way you're going to get it is like a totally original movement that no one's ever done. So when it comes to movement, the last thing I want to say is tap into that inner child, like invite in that inner child, put on a song and truly dance like no one's watching, because that's when it comes up. And move slow and fast. So if you have a tendency to dance like crazy, face the discomfort of slowing down. And then vice versa, if you have a tendency to want to move slowly, shake it up a little bit. That is my words of wisdom from Lynn.
I love that. Thank you so much. I love that so much because a lot of times people will speak to meditation as the number one healing modality or trending or whatever. And of course, there's millions of different forms of meditation out there, breath work, everything, right? But also it's so important to take note of like if you're having a hard time, the last thing you want to do is meditate. Like there's other like methodologies of healing that are available or just ideas in the moment when you're not actually sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna do work on myself today. You know? Um, yeah. Oish, would you want to speak to movement? He's our newest Healerverse healer. We'll be announcing him this weekend or next week.
Hey, namaste to all of you. Hi, Trish. And my name is Ayush, and I'm an yogi, practicing yoga from last 10 years. As this beautiful lady mentioned, Lynn, about the meditation. Yoga is consisting like meditation, asana, Vedas, all the like old books, Vedas, Vedangs. So meditation is a biggest achievement yoga is been going through with, and all of the guys all over the world, people think like asana is just only about the yoga. That this is not true. Asana is just only the 4 or 5% of the yoga. Meditation is the basic and the very like foundation of yoga. And as she mentioned, there are so many types of meditation techniques. I would love to introduce one of the meditation technique, just in a rapid, that is called Tratak, in which we draw. There are two ways to do that meditation. That is in a way. We draw a single dot on a plain paper and we just put it on the eyes level and just we focus on it. And the next level after practicing it, the next level of this meditation is just in a dark room with one candle at the eye level, and we just need to focus on it. Like this meditation could heal you towards the next like world. You can change your life with this kind of meditation. This meditation is known as Trataka. And yeah, I would love to be with you guys. I just get in touch with Trish from last 1 month, and I just connected with the Healerverse. And I'm feeling so good to connect with you, all of you guys. And yeah, it was all about me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Amira, I know you have to hop off. Do you want to speak about movement quickly and introduce yourself before you hop off?
All right, I can do that. Hello there, everyone. So, we all have on this earth a beautiful gift to offer, and I believe all of us have a stage one healing thyself, clearing that self. And my work consists on clearing anything, everything that is in the invisible realm, whatever is the issue, whether it is lack, whether it is poverty, whether it is hindrance, blockages, scarcity, whatever you name it in the negative, I will track it, I will uproot it, I will terminate any contract and assist anything, whether it is dark forces, whether it is alien forces, whether it is a technology, whether it is whatever it is, I will clear it out instantly and permanently so that the person who comes in a session takes his or her power back and come back to life. We came on this earth to experience life in full abundance in every area of life. And there is something called destiny exchange, glory exchange, anything exchange, which means that many light warriors, light worker, carry the load that is not their own. There is a switch in the invisible realm, and it's time to take our power back and have openings in every area and strive versus survive. With that said, meet you on the flip side. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you, Amira. Yeah, she did a 3 hour clearing for Heidi, the director of operations, and I, like a few weeks ago on a Saturday for 3 hours, and it was powerful, and I felt lighter and happier ever since. So, thank
Thank you for
you, Amira.
sharing. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye, everybody. And
Bye,
I'm happy
love.
you all are on board. Bye bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Ah,
I love when she does that. Aw. Does anyone else want to speak to movement or anything?
I'll share.
Yeah.
Hi. So I'm Shanna. I'm in California and I've been a massage therapist for this will be my 17th year, and then expanded into servicing more health and wellness with restructured water, I am also a Qigong instructor and do Reiki, and have moved into, more of like a health consultant just to give a more holistic feel to my clients and better serve people. I love meeting new people from all over the place. Like Trish, I want to go travel and just play with all my friends. So I was really excited to be a part of this global community. And I am still working on my learning curve with technology and trying to figure out how to use the platform the best. And once I get that all dialed in, I'm sure it's going to be super fun to meet everyone and to put some events in the future. I might be starting to offer retreats or, something else to call in some more travel. I have been a published author. I have another book coming out next month about the mind-body connection. So it's just been really exciting to share some of my stories in different communities. And I'm excited to meet you all.
Thank you. Congrats on your new book, and I can't wait to meet you in a few weeks. Um,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. I've
We've
known
known each
Shannon for
other for
years.
years, but we haven't
Yeah.
ever hugged each other in real life.
Yes, exactly. We met through this underground spiritual community that we're a part of. And it was truly underground, like it still is. So, that's another thing. I wanted to like help people to find the underground and bring it to light because there are amazing healers out there that are just hiding.
And I think my favorite form of movement is hula hooping.
Oh my gosh, where's Sarah Beth?
Yeah, well, I used to help her, but yeah, I've got my hula hoops. And then I went out with this guy and I made him swing me on the swings at the park. He was a little put off by it, but I was like, if you can't have fun with me, this is not going to work for very long. So
That's so fun. Oh my gosh. I would definitely push you on a swing, sister.
yay. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely push you on a swing.
I have a
How long have you
hammock
been doing
chair
Qigong?
in my living room. I got certified in 2019. I don't teach a lot. It's one of the things that if I would have, stepped into my power and pivoted online during COVID, I probably could have established more of a fan base, but I was homeschooling my kids and kind of going through a depression and just not having that season be for that. So
I do it primarily for me as well. I mean, I want more people to be doing it, but I don't necessarily want to be a Qigong teacher. I just want other people to be.
yeah, I trained with Jeff Premack in the World Supreme Science Qigong. And so he also does stuff with food healing and cooking with Qi and smoothies for different ailments. And so it's really a more all-inclusive style. And then I have a really sweet friend. She does the Hawaiian Qigong. And so whenever we go to some of these events, she does a little, 20-minute thing before we all get started, and super fun to watch and participate with.
Amazing. Who wants to share next?
Hi, uh, my name's Paul. Lovely to meet you. My thing has always been primarily tarot. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, of course, because I'm coming on here tonight. So I'm from an Irish traveller background. We used to say a different word, we're not allowed to say it anymore. My family have used tarot their whole lives. And as I was growing up, I got embedded into the archetypes of that. And I ended up going through it with a therapist. So that is my main focus. I do a lot of other things. In my corporate world, I was very, very digital. And my big thing is trying to marry those things together. Um, as Trish said in the introduction, the whole social media thing, I was doing incredibly well, 400 likes on everything. And then the social media world turned in on itself. And I actually think it's become, in the spiritual side, it's become really toxic. And because I connect with things like AI and stuff like that, I've been actively targeted by energy that I really don't like. So I met Trish on Portobello Road, and she, you know, she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, you really." And she said, "Try me." So I tried her, and she did something very, very similar. And you have been incredibly inspirational. And just seeing your energy pop up on the different things, it breaks through on a lot of the negativity. And I like what you said about getting people together and getting people who are focused, and expanding it into the real world. If you talk about movement, I've been blocked for a very long time. The card that I turn every day is the Fool card, leap of faith, jumping off the cliff. Where am I going to go from here? And at the moment, it's very stalled out there. So I think it's great that you're talking about reintroducing. I'm actually thinking about getting a little booth somewhere and physically going out with a deck of cards at the moment and talking to little old ladies and eating cake and drinking tea, because that connection has been lost. And as I said, the online thing is splintered so much, and there's so much, I've been cloned, and it is, like I said, it's very toxic. So it's great to see you all shining through and just feeling the connection here and engaging with all the different types of modalities. Talking about meditation, I do a lot of self-hypnosis, which is on a similar sort of vein. I don't move as much as I should, but I go to the gym 3 times a week. That's as far as it goes. Most of it in the jacuzzi. Don't tell anybody. But it's really great to see some happy smiley faces come through online here.
Thank you so much for your honesty. And what I'm hoping, you guys, is that Paul can do an AI workshop for us and show us how to make these amazing like inventions that he makes with AI and like tarot cards. You have to see this. He posted his most recent full moon workshop. It's connected to YouTube and it's on Healerverse. If you scroll down, you could see his most recent Leo full moon reading that he did. It's on Healerverse. It's amazing. And also, I cornered Paul for like, I'm not kidding, a month because his artwork is amazing. And for NFT NYC, and we're not going to talk about blockchain in detail, but I said you have to submit your artwork to NFT NYC. They have to see this. And out of how many people? How many applicants?
5,000, I think it was.
He was selected to have his artwork showcased at NFT NYC, and he will be there. So I'll be there too. Sometimes, like the things that come out of Healerverse are non-traditional, and that's fun.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the other thing I wanted to say is, oh, they asked me to MC that event too. So I'll be speaking and emceeing in New York. I think we're gonna do a huge Healerverse event in New York. And also, I want to introduce you to Sherylanne because you both live near each other, and Sherylanne does a lot of events in London. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. How's yourself?
Good, good, very good, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to meet you in person and yeah, we could swap
So
details.
where in London are you?
I'm around North Finchley at the moment,
Oh,
but the
okay.
events are often in central London. So
Okay, great.
yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
And yeah, I teach meditation out of some of the libraries, Westminster libraries. So yeah, in various locations, Mayfair and
Amazing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Cool. Maybe you guys can team up and do something.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, that's the other thing is I've never, because I've been quite digital, I've never really gone into the actual physical space. So actually going out and finding a physical space is a bit alien to me at the moment. So maybe I should, you know, connect with a few people and see what my options are there.
Hey, I
Yeah.
actually work in tech as well. Used to be an aerospace engineer, and I'm actually planning for 2025 the first of an annual Conscious Tech Expo down here in the Virgin Islands. So we should definitely connect on that because I feel like consciousness
Oh,
in the AI space is, and that's who a lot of who I'm connecting with on people in the VR space. Speaking of movement, getting movement,
Yeah.
my movement, your movement in virtual reality,
yeah.
whether it's Qigong or any of that. I mean, because that's where they're going, you know, and there's a part of
Yeah.
me as the wholesome earth-based mama who just wants to be in person at a retreat center, but we got to get our light out there and people are going virtual.
Big time.
Yeah.
Check out,
For better,
Absolutely.
for worse, you know, it is what it
yeah.
is.
Check out Gatherverse
Absolutely.
is doing their AI.
Yeah.
You saw that? Okay.
I'm going to attend that one and then I'm going to apply. I don't know if you saw, they have one coming up for athletics in AI.
Cool.
So that's where I feel
Cool.
like, but
I'm
can I
very,
just interrupt? Like, Paul,
yeah.
did you say that you were cloned? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, over here because I have a site that sells tarot readings, whatever you think about that. And actually, the people that I employ in the background to do the readings, the readers are all tested, and a lot of them been through therapy. If anyone comes through with issues, they transfer them to reception and talk to. So it's as ethical as it can be. Um, and somebody actually cloned my entire website. I've had it a couple of times, and also on Instagram as well. Cloned, and started aggressively messaging people. Hi, I've got a really dangerous energy around you. You need to send me $50. And I was mortified. I was horrified because on the face of it, it looks like me, and it's horrible to be violated like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and on Healerverse, like everybody, all the healers are verified. If they say they're a healer, they're verified. And if people
Hmm.
post on there like, "Hey, I'm such and such, I'm a healer," I would just not suggest it. I like that. Listen, it's annoying to fill out the whole thing, like but it's like we really like want to make sure that people are verified because,
Yeah,
that's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
See a check mark next to their
absolutely.
name, they're official. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, because that's a
Yeah.
real that's
And
a real thing. Yeah.
it's
But
so good to hear what you guys are doing because I'm creating a new Trish was at my first one. I did a
oh,
meditation in the metaverse with avatars. And Trish was there.
mhm.
And yeah, so I'm creating a new one. So I would love to have support and feedback from everybody. That would be amazing.
Yeah, and like the thing that we've spoken about this a lot, but like the thing that I love about like different healing modalities in the metaverse, hi Garish, is that what's amazing about that is that like it offers a sense of anonymity for somebody that might be potentially a corporate executive that doesn't want to be seen doing breath work or like, like
Yeah,
the healing modalities, hypnotherapy. Maybe they want to like be that avatar and like participate and not be seen. And it's a cool immersive experience and really just it's just a cool experience. There's a lot more to it that I'm sure you guys could speak to, but for me the sole thing with that is anonymity and not knowing who's who is cool. Yeah.
mm.
yeah,
Not on
yeah,
the practitioner's level, but like on the participants, to have anybody be able to participate is super cool. And I've had hypnotherapists that have come to me and said, "Trish, I want to like have hypnotherapy sessions in the metaverse." And I said, "Can you do it on a huge level though, or does it have to be like one-on-one?" And both is actually possible, supposedly. So cool.
That's a
Some of the
really
best
good point you
hypnosis I've
made.
had has been through YouTube.
Really
Yeah, there's some really
oh,
good stuff on there.
amazing.
Mhm.
I like that point you made about the anonymity
I
because I
know.
know many, many years ago, before I was a healer, when I started healing, I tried to go to therapy and just like once and I couldn't do it. Like I had to break down barriers myself. I had to do some work myself. And so I feel like, I don't get the whole avatar thing. I just show up, but I can see now that people who are more beginning on their journey, being able to create an avatar gives a feel of them, but also is maybe a little bit safer for them to start exploring this world. So I like that point. It's kind of making me understand how the meta healing is going to be good for some people.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And some of the feedback I got was exactly that. They might not be comfortable to come in on a Zoom call or feel like maybe they're less experienced than other people. And this is just, it doesn't matter, of course, but this is what goes through their minds, reasons not to. And maybe then that could be a stepping stone to a Zoom and then an in-person one. Absolutely.
Yeah. Aw,
Down
that's so
stepping.
sweet. I think we've all been there too, right? Maybe not every single one of us, but like as healers, like I was kind of like, scared to admit it, if that makes sense. Like at first because of like self-imposed limitations and also society imposed limitations and just like, probably past life stuff too. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That like, was deep within me that I was like not really like so forthcoming with like even this platform, with what I was building. I'm like, my family's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it."
No.
I wish I had done that because I was like, "Hey, mom, I'm a Palladian." Not quite like that, but like, I was like putting it online. I was like really out there. And so Facebook offered that for me. I used my picture, but I would just say the most outlandish things. And I know it may have harmed me in the way my family responded to me, but it actually prepared us and it prepared me to just be me unapologetically. Like they
That's
were not going to prove. And now they kind of approved. I don't think they're ever going to be like, yeah, you're a Palladian, but like they're like open to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, yes. Like it's so cool how when we like heal and become ourselves, that other people around us start to heal and change too. Well, one, we're all connected, of course, but like the people that are around the most, we're able to like not even unapologetically. It's like, finally I'm myself, this is who I really
Absolutely.
was.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
And
more,
Yeah.
you grow into it. I mean, I was nervous coming on here tonight. When I started my thing, I used my own name because my sister was going on a lot of the sites, and I sat at the site to say, "Look, this is what they're doing. This is what's happening." And then it took off. It's gone crashed and burned since then, but it took off, and suddenly my name was out there, and I wasn't ready for that. And so you do grow into it. And what you're saying about avatars, what I think is interesting about them is that people are so used to everything being perfect. So they think that if they put up an avatar of themselves, and the avatar can do some of the heavy lifting, and they can, as somebody else said, just give an essence of themselves and not worry that it's blinking in the right place or whatever. So
Yeah.
avatars have been really helpful for a few people that I know.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And there's a lot of people that for various reasons maybe don't want to be seen on a Zoom or can't
Yeah.
attend it in person.
true.
There's people in wheelchairs, there's people that are blind. There's all kinds of, situations out there where this might be helpful, at least initially, for them.
That's true. Some people have disabilities and stuff, and there's different technologies that are coming out to help people with
Yes.
disabilities to be
Yeah.
able to like almost like gaming a little bit, to be able to
Mm.
participate in things.
Well,
That's
that
really
was
important.
that was actually in the APPG 2 days ago, Trish, in London,
Really?
at the House of Lords. Yeah, they were talking about how there's a actual association for blind people to participate in gaming, and a lot of them are gaming creators as well. So
Of course.
there's technology, yeah, helping them. Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
yeah,
Yeah. And also like the healing community, we're big on that. Like everybody, like how do we include everybody, right? That's
yeah,
important. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's like interpreters for like sign language or like what can we do to include everybody, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Bharat, do you want to say something, brother?
If I was my authentic self, I'd get arrested.
Just be your authentic self.
That's what I'm saying. If I was my authentic self,
Oh, yes.
I'd probably get arrested.
It's
Yeah.
welcomed here.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a really good Indian word that Ayush and Girish will know. It's called chutia giri. That's why they're getting smiling. That's why they're smiling. And unfortunately, there's too much of this chutia giri happening in the digital space, as Paul has found out, and as Sherylanne will be finding out, is that there's too much cloning. There's too many fakers out there. I can't really translate the Indian word chutia into something palatable, but you can ask Girish or Ayush on a private call what it actually means. It just means somebody who is out there to spread negative energy. I think Girish is probably the easiest way to say that, isn't it? It's somebody who's spreading negative energy, completely opposite to what Girish and Ayush and everybody else is doing as well. So I suppose it's a twofold, movement thing. Is one is movement. You're moving to actually access the inner stillness that you have. So I can be philosophical about that. And the other part of the movement is running away from all these negative souls that are wandering around, spreading. What was it? The latest from the UK government? Oh, we're going to have a 1 in 4 chance of a war with Russia. And I'm thinking, nobody's asked the Russians this, and nobody asked me about this. And I've got a 25% chance of having a war with somebody. That's quite interesting, And so I just find it really interesting when we talk about movement. Most of my movement is running away from very dodgy individuals that you meet on the online space, Paul, and I'm sure you've come across many of them. And in the physical space, it's like, you walk through and then somebody kind of tries to approach you or tries to give you the eye and you think, not today, pal. I'm out of here. Ta-da, see ya. I'm sure Lynn, as an evolved individual, and Sherylanne, and obviously, sorry, emotions mastery coach. I did forget your name. I wasn't listening at the beginning because I'm so into my own self that I really don't care about anybody else. So I'm never listening to anybody. I'm just thinking, yeah, it's my turn to speak now. There you go. Lynn understands this. I think that there's a lot of people that out there, you guys probably can see it, I can't see it yet, that you can actually see their shadow around them. When we're talking about Carillion photography is one thing that was invented in 1912, 1920 by Brilliant Carillion, another Soviet gentleman, who you can use photographic plates to actually photograph your aura around you. Just look it up on YouTube or yeah, and it's very interesting. I think some people, probably Lynn, Sherylanne as well, can actually see the aura around people without, photography or any kind of device. And these are the people that need to, yeah, educate the rest of us on how to do it. Because I'm in business and in the private equity space, there are a lot of individuals who do not wish you well. Let's put it that way. you know. And it's interesting, Sherylanne, and I will close with this, that the APPG group has some really dodgy individuals pretending to know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but that's okay. We'll talk about that at some other time. Anyway, now I will shut up and I will give it to some other wonderful individual to enlighten us about something that I don't know anything about, which is a lot.
Wall Street Finance just popped off, but that's actually Hassan Fazilfoy. How do you say that? You know that last name? It's an Indian last name. Fazil, a boy. And he just texted me and he told me what it meant. He said he's coming back. And he's actually it says Wall Street Finance because he's actually the CEO of Wall Street Finance.
Okay.
And he's also now on Team Healerverse
Nice.
as the Chief
Wow.
Strategy Officer. Everything's coming together.
Maybe I should do a Chutyagiri cleaning workshop for everybody.
He's also a breathwork facilitator and a meditation facilitator. And yeah, I met him I met Paul, but not in the same location.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm actually finding that more and more in the tech space. Of course, there's the shadow everywhere. It's always been in every sector, of course. But I'm finding more and more people are tuning in and more people are becoming spiritual. I remember reading something once that said it's still less than 1% of the world that are awake, aware, and work on their energy, work on themselves. But I believe that if about 3% of the world did, the world would shift drastically. Things would shift. Wars would be starting to become non-existent, things like that. And I really do think that a lot more people, I mean, it's talked about a lot more in the media, which is a good thing, at least these words are getting bandied around, meditation, mindfulness. A lot of companies, maybe because they're being forced to since the lockdowns, but whatever brought them there, it doesn't really matter. They're starting to implement. And I think there's more awareness coming. It may be on its divine timing path, but it's coming.
Amazing. I can't believe it's only 1%. That's wild to me. That's wild.
It definitely accelerated. It definitely accelerated just before the lockdown because I was in a big corporate and I had a team, and over the course of a year, and you have to employ people, and they always want them younger and cheaper, and exactly what you're saying, they were more interested in mindfulness, in health, in getting to their desk early and having an avocado rather than rolling in half cut from the night before with a can of Coke, and you saw it was a very quick thing. And I don't know what Gen we're up to now, Gen Z or whatever they are. It's definitely been a shift towards more positivity, definitely.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot younger people coming through my meditations now, which is super interesting.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
amazing.
this darkness
Oh,
thing.
yeah, no, go ahead. I want to hear from you. We haven't heard from you yet.
No,
Go for it, sister.
I've actually talked a lot, but I'll make it really brief.
Okay.
So I want to remind, and I don't want this to be lecture, just a reminder that the darkness we experience is the darkness within us, right? It's a unified field. And I experienced a lot of darkness in my life. Now, I am actually have aphantasia, so I don't see it. I think that's why I've been able to do the work I've done, because I don't, but I still sense it. I felt my life threatened many, many times. I always knew it was never real, and I faced it and I went through it. And so that's just a reminder to everyone who's experiencing it now that darkness is everywhere. It's online, it's offline, it's inside, it's outside. And just remember it's not real, and that the higher forces has already won. So at this time, whenever I feel threatened by a dark force, it's like it's no more than a mosquito. Don't allow, it might be a very large mosquito, but don't give it your power, because what it wants is for you to think it's bad, because that creates the negativity within you, which is feeding it. Yeah. So it really is within you. And I know it's easier said than done. Like, I'm not trying to underplay that, because the fear is real, the subconscious, except for, especially for healers, we've been persecuted so many lifetimes. So that fear is in the DNA. That's where the movement comes back in. You know, it's very hard to sit through fear, but we can move through it. We can put on a song we love and like dance through it, or we can kung fu, you know, like there's a lot of aggressive people that do kung fu because they're learning how to channel their own darkness rather than project it into the world. So I think you're all, you know, and we're all in different places and everyone's doing wonderful. And the masculine mind has a little bit more fear. The feminine body has a little bit more fear. So these are what we're all learning, is how to deal with our own fear. And we're doing it together. And that's why I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. All right, emotions mastery. We want to hear from you. I've been like excited to hear from you the whole time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
I was going to challenge Bharat, if that's how you pronounce your name, because Lynn already pretty much went there. Because I was going to say, I think that when we look back at the earlier chapters of our lives before our own individual awakening, there was a lot more darkness, but we didn't know to define it as such. And then today's days, if I'm faced with darkness that comes my way, online or offline, my consciousness will go, why is that affecting me so much? Is there a deeply rooted fear in me? And when there isn't, those online predators or those creeps or those phonies, they just pass like a mosquito. But when they're in me, I've got my work to do. So my world is only as dark as the place I'm in on the inside.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn. You kind of like, you know, you gave the prologue to this, but that's really what I was gonna just challenge Bharat. Like, I'm online and I got that too, but I'm so safe because it's not my work anymore. Now, if you want to respond to that, thank you for listening.
I'd say walk through a Brixton or one of the actual underdeveloped or third world parts of London at 2 o'clock in the morning. But then again, why would you? Why would you? This is your enlightened. Yeah, I know, Lynn. I was going to answer my own questions. Why would you? If you're an enlightened individual, there's no reason to go out at 2 o'clock in the morning with people that you don't know, doing things that, you know, it's like, why would you do that? You know, you already know what self-preservation is. You already know what's good for you. It's like you wouldn't go into a war zone to be a war photographer if you don't have that skill set. Just to, you know, some people do, and then they, you know, get the results that they didn't expect. I think that it's an ongoing dialogue, isn't it, between yourself and yourself regarding what feels good, which is all vibration, and what feels not so good. And you usually move towards the good, and you get more of that, and the bad usually, or whatever whatever, with the darkness, whatever you want to call it, usually dissipates or is attaching itself to somebody else. Yes, there is a lot of inner darkness, and you can attribute that to many past lives. I know that Girish and Ayush, because we come from a religious background or a cultural background that believes in reincarnation as given. You get, but there are some, both of them know there are some supposed gurus who use all these religious practices to actually enslave you as well. So you got to be very careful about this, and be careful about whatever, I won't say crutch, but whatever tools you use, because eventually they start using you. So you still have to have that discrimination of, if you're using uh, tools to actually predict the future or predict the day or what have you, just be careful that they don't start using you and you become too dependent on them, just like another addiction.
Question. Do you already know Garish?
Sorry?
Do you know Garish?
No.
Oh. I thought maybe you two actually knew each other. Like, that's
No.
my friend too.
Yeah, let's hear from the guy in the yellow
maybe they
shirt.
know each other. What? Yellow's a
Let's
good
hear from the
color.
guy in the yellow shirt and the hat.
Yes,
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 hi everyone.
yes. Hi.
Hi. Wonderful. That's an amazing discussion going on. Yeah, so actually Bharat was able to relate because we come from the same country and same beliefs and same religious background. So yeah, that was the main reason he was referring, that we can relate to what he's saying.
That's amazing. It's so good to see you, and thank
Which
you
is
for
which is the first
coming.
time that's ever happened, because most people don't relate to what I'm saying and tell me to get lost, which I usually try to prevent them to say, you know what, I don't like you, and I'll just use the Shakespeare phrase, that poisoned my eyes, get away from me. So yeah. So talking to Lynn, yeah, a lot of self-care is needed.
What is your religion? I missed that.
Hindu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hindu, which is not fashionable amongst many people. In a Girish, a lot of the lefties and all the rest of them haters, but that's okay. We can send it back to them. Anyway.
Bharat, can I say something to that which you just shared? Okay, so for me it works to believe that there's this pendulum kind of effect in the universe. We're always kind of trying to come back to center, but it's gonna have to at least go in that direction of aiming towards a balance, an equilibrium, a homeostasis, right? So if there's that much darkness inside of me, it means I'm too far out of seeing the light outside of me. If there's only light on the inside of me, and I'm kind of not here anymore, so I come back to reality. But that pendulum is forever after for all of us. But you can gauge your own consciousness to say, what the hell just happened? I flew into my, demon mind, and all I'm seeing is demons all day. I gotta come back, swing back a little bit, because it's not. It is sometimes, but then come back and find the light.
I
Unless
experienced that too, sister. Like it's just like the human experience. I experience that too. Sometimes I'll be like in fear, and then like some days will be amazing. And then I think it's like a lot of like release and expansion. And like it's funny, the universe will be like, but remember, it always works out for you. And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's like for me, it feels like sometimes a lot of release and expansion. Yeah. The
Trish,
pendulum.
Trish is like, I just met you for the first time, but I think hearing you laugh, your laughter takes me back to center. Like, yeah, it's
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. I
yeah.
laugh a lot. Anyone that knows me knows I laugh and I laugh. I think one of so does Gary. She has a good laugh. But one of the people on my team made like a video of all my laughs because I just burst out laughing at completely inappropriate times too. And it's not even because I'm like uncomfortable. It's just because I'm like, I don't know. I'm from a different planet.
Well, do you have conversations going on in your own head that are
Yeah.
funny? They don't know, but you're just, yeah, there's
Yes.
like that point of view, like.
It's a thing. It's a
Buddha has a
thing.
saying like, when you realize the truth of everything, you tilt your head back and laugh because it's all so
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, when I feel really good about someone, when I think they've done something great or just really like their energy, I just burst out laughing. And sometimes then I have to tell them, I'm not laughing at you.
I
This is
know.
just my, like out of control expression right
Yeah,
now.
I was taught that laughter is one of the highest spiritual levels, call it, because it's
Yeah,
just like you've seen it all.
Yes, fact. I
yeah.
have. Yeah, and I've heard it all. Sorry, that's my son. I have tell me the truth written across my forehead. So wherever I am, people always come up to me and tell me everything, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes, but I'm like, all right, because I can't always be in that space, but it's almost one of those things. I'll recant and I'll be like, all right, I'm around not for a while. And then I'll come back and be like, hello, I'm back. Tell me the truth. Oh my gosh.
Love
Yeah, a
that.
lot of laughing. It's good. It's good. And I know, so Resofactor's here. He's in Florida too. Where are you? Where are you? Emotions Mastery. Where are you
Oh,
located?
hey, sorry.
Hi.
I'm in New Jersey.
You're in Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, amazing. So when we're in New York, come meet up with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you in South Jersey or North Jersey?
It's probably somewhere in between, but
Okay.
I can make it over to New York. Not that
Cool.
bad.
So one of the Healerverse healers, her name's Deneen Gadetti. She's actually in Wayne, New Jersey.
Hmm.
Is that
Not
far
sure.
from you?
I'm
Kind of.
actually I'm not sure. I would have to look that up.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not here
Cool.
that long. Yeah, but I can,
Oh,
I'd love to meet people.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely send me a message on Healerverse where you are, and maybe I could connect you with some people. That would be cool.
God, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
this work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The beach there is nice during the summer too.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet. Right here. 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Perfect. Reso Factor. Do you want to close us out, brother? You're unmuted, but we cannot hear you. Hmm. Just a sec. Okay. Reso Factor and I met on LinkedIn, and he actually is in Tampa, Florida, and he is very enlightened and does all this Nikola Tesla stuff, tech stuff, but also like really, it's amazing how like the whole tech evolution is happening alongside the Grand Awakening. And
Okay, can you hear me now?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's see. I don't want to take up, I know we got to round this out, but I would like at least maybe if we run over, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, I would like to really hopefully impress upon the group what is really going on here, okay? Um,
Thank you.
so I'll just kind of I don't want to sound pitchy, because we all hate the salesy markety type of pitches. But as far as my background, this is one thing I really would like to hopefully impress upon you all to understand what really is coming in the pipe now into this reality, big picture level. Okay. How should we say this? Okay. So anyway, I'm just going to read this rather verbatim from my LinkedIn profile to give you all a
No, tell us because
okay.
it's easier if you just tell us. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
basically, okay, well,
From the heart.
yeah,
From the
okay.
heart.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, my late mentor, Drazen, Okay, I worked with him for just under a decade while I lived in Orlando before relocating here to the greater Tampa area. Okay. Drazen was the unsung successor to Nikola Tesla himself that the world missed during his time here. Okay. Drazen is the discoverer of what we refer to as the CTP energy science, or what we also refer to as the CTP psi. Okay, relative to today's world, our physics believe there are only four fundamental forces that are responsible for our reality. What my late mentor discovered is that behind the what we refer to as physical or P energy are the non-physical C energy and T energy that define what we call the CTP energy cycle. This is the actual unified field theory, okay? This science, my friends, is the real disclosure that's coming, okay? So UFOs or UAPs, an advanced civilization that uses these technologies would not refer to their craft as UFOs or UAPs, okay? But this is the science that advanced, this is the science of what we could call the universal science, as it were, used by advanced civilizations. This CTP science is the science that Stephen Greer has alluded to non-directly for over the past 2 decades now, and we are finally bringing this out to the public. Okay. We all have different spiritual beliefs. I just want to address everyone in the panel. We all have different spiritual beliefs, okay, and that's fine and all. But one of the things I really would like to also really convey is that if just as what we consider the laws of physics, or rather universal in our physical reality, then so too would be the non-physical laws of C domain, which would apply to our non-physical existence universally, that applies to everyone. So this would be the science that what the bleak didn't know, this is what's coming. And I've had a lot of interesting experiences over the past 2 years now, hammering this out and taking it out. But ultimately, this is the science of how we will attain a multi-planetary civilization within hopefully our lifetimes. We could be traveling to other galaxies or other star systems within 10 to 15 years, depending on how fast the public and the capitals, and the investment industry gravitate towards what we propose towards the future. But that's basically, I am Drazen's successor in this capacity, and that's basically where we're coming from with me and CTP in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. Yeah, at the end, it made more sense because, like, you are highly intellectual scientists. At the end, it was like, okay, we could go to space. That was the part that I understood the best. So,
It's not just that. Okay, so the applications for this, we're talking new advances in holistic sciences and the healing sciences, which you're all interested in. Okay, new energy generation, new space propulsion systems, new communication systems. You name an industry into the future, this science will eventually touch into all aspects of our lives.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, and I'm just gonna say hi to my sister Angelica. Hello. And actually,
Hey,
she's in West Palm Beach, so she's like 15 minutes from me. And yeah, do you want to just share with us for like a minute and then we're gonna wrap it up so it doesn't wind up being 2.5 hours like last week?
can you hear me?
Yes, love. Yes.
Okay. Um, I'm sorry I'm late and I don't have much. I don't even think I spoke on myself last time, but to give you a little bit more insight about me, I am a yoga practitioner and also instructor, specializing in Kemetic yoga, which is ancient Egyptian yoga. Um, what else do I have to say? I also, dibble and dabble here in a little bit of everything. Mostly cancer as a battler of that myself right now. Breast cancer. I'm doing everything holistically, no surgery, no chemo, no radiation, nothing. I'm doing it metabolically all by myself. And if there are any other, cancer survivors or people who are battling it right now, if you would like support or help on how to heal your body naturally, you can always reach out to me. This is my calling, my purpose, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. And I'm so proud of you. And if you need anything, we're here for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah. Oh, I love you guys so much. And
it. Yeah.
honestly,
That's it about me.
I love you guys so much. And I'm so grateful for everyone coming together and coming heart to heart and just being part of, and if there's anything that I could do for you or like the team or like anybody here, like I think that's, what the purpose of it is. So yeah, until next week. I'll see you on Healerverse. And definitely tell your friends.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
tell your friends. Everyone's welcome. Everybody just has to be nice to each other. And yeah, that's it. You know, that's the rule. That's an easy rule. No pretending to be somebody you're not. Be like
Thank
just
you, Trish.
yeah. I love
Thank you
you
so
guys
much.
Thanks,
so
Trish.
much. Thank you. And if you're doing any events
Thank you.
soon,
Thank you, Trish.
put them on Healerverse instead of Eventbrite. This is my son. This is Mac. He's the top dog officer.
Oh,
Yeah. Boo Boo, say hi to the family.
hey,
Yeah.
Mac.
He's actually really camera shy. It's a thing. Why are you so good? I love him. He's my dream. You're my dream. And if anyone needs anything from me at all, let me know. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.